What is up, my beloved Troglodytes? Today, I'm going to be playing Elden Ring as a Wandering Noble. The rules on this one are going to be pretty simple. I'm going to be able to use any gear dropped by a Wandering Noble, like the swords and the armor, etc. And I will be able to use any, flask upgrade items, and I will be able to use any, physic tier stuff. I'm making one exception, and I will be using, sleep pots for the Godskin duo. I hate them motherfuckers. And I can use the 2 noble summoning ashes. This will be our beautiful protagonist for this playthrough. So start the game like every other time you start the game. You know, you kill yourself, you run all the way to go get Torrent, because we love Torrent. And then, you know, you go talk to Ranni, because, you know, Ranni's here, she's always fucking here. And, you know, as you're doing your rounds, you get the whetstone, and then you go talk to the other woman, you know, the tentacle woman. What do you call her? Rodrika, when he gives you the jellyfish, that's what you call her. You know, we're leaving that in. And then I took the side path going around to Liurnia to the first site of Grace, and then Melina asked me if I wanted to go to the round table hold, so obviously I said yes because I kind of need to go there. And then I talked to our good little friend Thorpe. Thorpe sells us the glintstone pebble, which will be very useful because noble sorcerers use a mixture of the glintstone staff with the glintstone pebble, meaning that in the rules of this playthrough I can use both of them items. And if you choose a prisoner starting class, you get the glintstone staff, and I can go buy glintstone pebble from Thorpe, meaning that I don't have to break the rules at the start of this game. I murdered the Mad Pumpkin head boss, so I could use this site of Grace, grind for all the gear I'll need for this challenge. So these are all the items I grinded for on screen now. These took a combined total of about 3 hours to grind for all of it. So after all that fucking grinding, I decided I wanted to go get the boys, the summon ashes. So I went to Stormfoot Catacombs. That's where the boys are. So I died twice. The first time, I died because my controller disconnected, because, you know, whatever reason would I just be fucking running into a wall and not fighting back. The second time I died was a skill issue though, so I can't really say anything about that one. And I got the boys, the mandem, the man, my boys. And the boss at the end of this one, it wasn't like a hard boss, but I didn't realize, because I hadn't searched it yet, that the only other summon I could use through this playthrough is in the same catacombs, which made my life a tad bit simpler. Then I went to Fort Height. If you're infinitely funnier than me and have an infinitely better dress sense than me, Fort Tonight, so I could get the Bloody Slash Ashen Floor and the first half of the medallion. I then grabbed the Axe Talisman and all the physic tier bullshit that's at this church. And after I did all that, it was finally time. It was finally Margot time.
Emboldened by the flame of ambition, let it be Margit the Fell.
And, you know, as always, Margot's just been a pushover. He dies really easily. It was time to visit Garank. Everybody comment, I Garank. And while I was here, I grabbed the Dragon Shield Talisman, because, you know, it's kind of useful, but, you know, I did kill myself after, so. Then I went to Stormvale Castle, where I killed the guard guy too early, you know, the guy who opens the gate. So I had to go the long way, which was unfortunate. But I shit on this knight. This knight will never show his face around here again. Fucking embarrassment. I got the Rampart Tower, Site of Grace, because, you know, it's important. And look at, peep this, home dogs. This sick-ass shock. Peep this, home dogs. This sick-ass shortcut. You can just, like, avoid, like, a quite big section by just jumping off here. Which I think is pretty sick. I then absolutely embarrassed this rafted scion. Then I took the lift up to get to the Site of Grace outside of Godric's arena. So it's finally Godric time. Easy ass fight as always. Godric is a coward and a pushover, and deserved what Melania did to him. Anywho, then I pulled up to the Weeping Peninsula so I could get the ability to drink my flask better. You know, no more bib for me because I won't be spilling that shit. Then I absolutely stomped on this Erd tree to get the Crimson Burst Crystal tier and the Opaline Bubble tier. After doing all this dumb side quest stuff to get stronger, I finally got the chance to meet up with my beautiful snake wife. Everyone, comment hi Rhea. And obviously, you know, we did Rhea the Scout's questline because we need to get to Volcano Manor. So I went to Mr. Prawnman and it was like, hello Mr. Prawnman, give me the necklace. And then he was like, IG. And then I bought prawns off of him and he was kind of chill, so we let him live this time. Then I went back to Rhea to give her a necklace back, obviously. Then you know, after talking to my wonderful wife, I ran between a dragon's ball sack so I could get a key to Rhea Lucaria. Then I met up with my man EG, and I said hi EG, like all of you should comment down below. Then I decided to get lost in a cave because I needed to fight this boss that's on your screen currently. I can't remember what it's called, look at the screen. So I could get the smithing stone bell bearing. I killed this big ass dragon for them juicy runes. Then obviously I bought materials to upgrade all my weapons. It was finally time for Rhea Lucaria. Rhea Lucaria? Academy of Rhea Lucaria? Whatever you call it, I don't care. This time I actually struggled with the Red Wolf. By that I mean, it barely didn't kill me. Like, I was hanging on by a thread, but I still got it in the end because I am goated. Moongrum embarrassed me. He put me in my place. I will never recover from how hard this man skilled on me. He parried me, stole my wife, killed my family, and then called me a coward. But it's fine because I absolutely shit on him. And then it was finally time to demolish the fucking moon bitch. You know it's gonna be a rough afternoon when Renala gives me a run for my money. That might have been the worst Renala fight I've ever experienced. So anyway, I pulled up at Fort Height so I could grab the medallion, and also so I could get Radagon's Saw Seal. After I got the medallion and that, I headed to Altus Plateau because, you know, natural progression of this game, that's kind of where you have to go after doing all that. And on my way to Altus Plateau, I went on the church, that is on the Bellum Highway, because, you know, need to drink my juices. Anyway, watch the cool lift cutscene, yada yada. And then boom, Altus Plateau, yippee! And, you know, wait, who's that? Look at that absolutely beautiful woman, my beloved snaky wife. I love Rhea the Scout. And because she is my wonderful wife, I grab her hand and she takes me to Volcano Manor. I'm not doing anything here yet, I just want the Sight of Grace, because, you know, it'll come in handy later. You know, it's a surprise tool that'll help us later, like, you know, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse and that. Then I, you know, did the Altus Plateau progression. I ran through the big gates, avoiding the 2 tree sentinels, because who actually fights them? And, you know, I picked up the seeds on the map, as you do. And also the other seeds further up, because obviously, why would I leave seeds? And then I fought Margot, the little new Margot. New Margot? You know who I mean. I killed him. Well, he killed me first, then I killed him. But it's Margot, so who cares? And because I was in the area, you know, I went and got the bell bearing from the one secret seal tunnel, whatever you call it. The one that's near the church, where you find the... There's not a good description if I can't remember what's in the church. Never mind. Do you look at the screen? This one. I was here so I could get the next smithing stone bell bearing so I could upgrade my weapons even further. I then went and talked to the finger maidens because I wanted my talisman pouch so I could get another talisman, because believe it or not, talismans are useful in Elden Ring. I also gave this guy stones so we could make my sword more pointy or whatever. I then went and met up with my boy Blythe because Blythe's kind of chill like that. And we had a lovely conversation and we decided that murder is what we want to do today. So we both pulled up to this like bloodhound guy, pulled up on his block, absolutely battered the shit out of him. He was begging for mercy, but I just stabbed him in the neck, as you do, you know, when you're a reasonable human being. So I then went to my boy EG, because we love EG on this channel, to get the talismans. Whenever I use a skill, it can just do less FP. And then politely asked the spirit woman to upgrade my spirit ashes, you know, by forcing her to get a job. And after I upgraded my boys, I love my boys, I went to the Tomb Ward Catacombs because I needed more upgrade materials. And I just ran through it. It's not very interesting, that's all you're seeing of it, because there's no point me showing all of it, because nothing really happens. I just run through, pick up flowers, and move on with my life. The boss was easy. Here's me killing it. It took like 2 seconds. Obviously I won because I killed it. Look at the clip. It's probably over by now. I should probably stop yapping. I pulled up to Redmane Castle so I could go do the Redan Festival, you know, see my Jari boy. Random woman who's actually a puppet, who's actually controlled by a guy. Elden Ring's weird. Furry man and witch killer fella, whatever his name is, who cares? So I could go fight Redan. Little did I know, this was an awful decision, because Redan kicked my shit in over and over and over again, to the point where I gave up, travelled all the way to Altus Plateau, travelled all the way to the Erdtree Sentinel, just for the Erdtree Sentinel, that's what it's called, right? Yeah, probably, to kick my shit in over and over again. I've brought disgrace to my family and I will never show my face in public again. After having been publicly humiliated, I decided it was time to rethink my strategy a little bit. So I decided to go get the Poison Mist Ash of War. I accidentally got the spell at first. I'm an idiot, ignore it. And you can imagine how Redan goes. This guy makes me his bitch. I get killed over and over again. Again, like it didn't happen like 20 seconds ago. And just as I was about to give up, never play Elden Ring again, quit, maybe even go start a new life in the mountains as a vagabond, this happened. I don't think that fight could have been any closer, even if I tried. I got to talk to my favorite Jari boy again. I love Alexander. He is my favorite Jar. I then went back to the round table hold so I could upgrade my weapons again. And I want to ask you guys' opinion on this, right? Do you enjoy it when I enjoy it? Does it make the video better every time I like tell you I've upgraded my weapon? Or should I just cut it out? Because of course I'm going to upgrade my weapon, unless it was some like weird no upgrades run. I entered Radan's hole so I could go to Nokron. I fell to my death because of a skill issue. The Mimic tier decided that he didn't want to live anymore, so I fulfilled his wish and killed him. I then ran through Nokron and it's boring. We're gonna cut all the fucking runny bits out. This isn't a tutorial. If you want to know where to go, Google it, I guess, but I'm going to go get the wet blade. Yippee! I got the wet blade, the black wet blade, so now I can bleed people without needing a bleed Ash of War. Oh, would you looky here, an Ash of War that hits repeatedly? I wonder what devious plan I could be brewing. Maybe I'm going to put bleed on this, so I can proc bleed really easily. Who knows my devious plan? I decided to have a devious little test with my new strategy. But let's just say this guy, he's not going to see his family anymore. He's not going to be able to see his wife. His kids are going to miss him because I put him in the grave very quickly. I then decided to go fight the Tronic Tree Sentinel again, only to get my shit kicked in over and over again until this happened. Is that too YouTuber? Eh, roll it. I then went to Stillwater Cave so I could go beat up this Clean Rot Knight, so I could get the Winged Sword Insignia Talisman. God, that's a mouthful. So I can do more damage on repetitive hits. Which, if you haven't clocked by now, is kind of the whole premise of this build. I then became the first ever Elden Ring player to ever speak to a woman. And I also went back to Redmane Castle so I could go get this wet blade that's on screen. I can't remember what it's called. It's the fiery one. It's the one that's red. Then Godfrey time, but not the real Godfrey, the Godfrey that's like a spirit made of gold. I can't remember the lore implications. Yeah, he shits on me. Makes me regret being born. Rest in peace, you golden bastard, and never come around here ever again. I don't know what goes through my head when I'm doing one of these playthroughs, and why I always find myself in this fucking shithole of a dungeon. Like, I hate this place with a passion, but I'm always here for some bizarre reason. Anyway, I died twice, and I got to Suo Moog with basically no problems. Suo Moog kicked my shit in twice, and I decided that's enough for me right now, so I then went and tried Margot. And if I thought it just couldn't get worse, I then fight Margot, where he kills me 16 fucking times. But little does he know that I'm clinically insane and will never give up. Nothing in this world fills me with as much joy as squishing someone who has been defeating you over and over again. Fuck you, Margot. I hope your balls explode. I gave the tree a good poke in because I wanted to, poke the thorny tree so I could get inside to kill the final boss. But sadly, can't get in. Need to burn it. Woman said go to the mountaintops of the giants, so I started heading there. But first, I wanted another sword because, what's better than one sword? 2 swords. I didn't get the sword I was going for. I got the stabby stabby, not the slashy slashy, but we make do. I'd like to call this next clip I'm going to show you instant death. Because I just keeled over and died. I had enough of living and just perished. I also then started traveling to the fucking consecrated snowfields so I could get to the lift that's on screen now. So I could get up to the fucking mountaintops of the giants. Because this Elden Ring, so you progress the game. I made it to the mountaintops of the giants, where I proceeded to grab the bell bearing that's in the Zamar ruins, or whatever they're called, so I could upgrade my weapons again. I then got invaded by this random woman I put in the grave. Then there was this Commander Neil guy who I killed. He did kill me once, but if you look on screen now, he's dying, he's dead. I won. I talked to this creepy fella who's definitely not a worm, who tells me to go get a golden needle so he can repair it. Golden needle we just got from that Commander Neil fellow we just killed. So that we could go get that needle, give it to this girl, so she can stab herself with it, so she can cure her cancer or something? Elden Ring. I went back to the little shack that Wormy Boy was in, so I could speak to the woman, because Whimpery Woman's there now. And then I went back again, and no Wormy Guy's there? Coincidence? I think not. I then went to this castle so I could get the Valkyrie's prosthesis. I then met up with Millicent and asked her does she need a hand. She said yes, so I gave her a hand. I then found this tall lanky fella that I murdered. And then, because I'm an evil cold rat bastard, I killed this woman in cold blood with my 2 hands. I did this so I could get Millicent's prosthesis because it's a really good talisman. And after a little bit of, senseless violence, I decided it was time to run through the mountaintops of the giants so I could go fight this guy who has a katana. I killed him. He's dead. I then decided, why I'm in the area, might as well try and kill the fire giant. First try, my first attempt, did pretty well. Got him below half health, got the cutscene, instantly died. After that, just got turned to cinder. And then the second attempt, I didn't even hit him and just fucking perished. So I decided maybe I should do something else. Because of the rage that the fire giant had filled my soul with, I decided to go on a killing spree. First, track down this fucking dragon motherfucker, and I killed him. I murdered him in cold blood, and then, you know what, fuck the environment, I cut down this tree. I killed him, he's dead. Now I'd gotten the evil out of my bones, I decided it was time to join Volcano Manor. The run through Volcano Manor isn't exactly the most exciting thing in the world, So I've kind of cut most of it out because it's just running past people. Do you want to see that? Probably not. This ain't no skin off your teeth, it ain't no skin off mine. Anywho, now look at the super important bridge that was so important that Miyazaki in his wisdom gave it a cutscene. Enough of that bridge, who cares? I died. I got murdered by an overweight man. I then came back and murdered the overweight man. And then ran all the way to a right card, where I just used the fucking weapon. He's a gimmick boss. I genuinely couldn't give a less of a shit, right? So I just used the fucking serpents, whatever the fuck. If you have a problem with this, leave me a strongly worded letter. My address is currently on screen, pull up. I murdered this tree so I could get some stuff, some little goodies. And then went to the Spirit Caller Cave so I could fight this boss. I didn't realize that this boss would kick my shit in as much as it did, but ayo, it's good practice for the Godskin duo, so I ended up winning in the end, and I got this talisman that's on screen. What's it called? The Godskin Swaddling Cloth or something? Yeah, it's good. It heals me when I hit something. And after all of that tomfoolery, I finally decided I was prepared enough to try to fight the fire giant again. After beating up the giant, hairy, homeless man, I decided it was time to go to Castle Soul. That wasn't a good time. I died a bunch. I then decided to go on a mystical journey so I could go find a bell bearing for Ghost Glove Boss? Was it Grave? I don't remember. I don't think I ended up using it, so it's not really important. So I pull up at this catacombs you see on screen. It was the wrong one, so I left because I'm an idiot apparently and don't know how to do directions. I then pulled up to the right catacombs, the Wyndham catacombs, whatever you call it. I don't care. I died. I found a lever. Flipped the lever. Found this boss fucker. Killed him. Got me bell bearing. Pretty simple journey. I then decided it was time to go get Margaret's Great Rune. So if you look on screen, I killed these two random guys that are just on the bridge to the way there. And grabbed the Great Rune. Wasn't an important journey, you know, it's just fucking a walk in, it's not that interesting. Anywho, love you all, hope you're having a wonderful evening. And like and subscribe, that's important. If you don't say it, you shoot yourself in the foot. Like and subscribe. Anywho, enough of me shilling and making you like and subscribe for more epic Elden Ring content and maybe other games. It was time for us to retry this Commander Neil guy, whatever he's called in this version of him. I only know the swamp guy. Anywho, easy claps. Don't show your face around here anymore, Mr. Commander Neil. Be gone. I then went and got the 2 secret medallion halves. Now, obviously, because I got both the medallion halves, I decided it was time to go to the consecrated snowfields, so I could pull up to this stupid-ass village so I could do the Everjail. This shit, this Everjail is the bane of my existence. These fucking sniper-ass bitches, fuck them. I then pulled up at the Halid tree. This single enemy annoyed me so much that I decided just to put in a clip of me killing it because fuck this enemy. Then I pulled up to Loretta because, you know, you need to murder her to progress. She did stomp on me once, but then this happened. And with that, I put Loretta in her grave. I then ran all the way through the Halid tree, which isn't exactly the most interesting thing in the world, so you're not seeing it. Tough. I died, unfortunately, and then I went and got the Site of Grace that's here, that's on screen. You see the Site of Grace. You know the one I mean. And then died again, and then I died again, but I got the talisman I came for. This one, the Great Shield Dragon Crest or something. I then decided that Suamog was my next little target, my next victim if you must. So I pulled up in his humble abode, where he proceeded to kill me multiple times, until I had my sweet, sweet victory. Yeah, eat that, you fucking bloody boy, you bloody bastard. I fucking hate this guy, this sewer moke. How about you go outside? How about you go have a shower, you stinky ass sewer boy? And then died on the parkour down to the frenzied flame. Because, you know, I can kill a demigod, but, you know, when it comes to fall damage, you know, like, I can't survive that. I then embrace the frenzy flame, because I'm a little edgy fella, and I think it's the best ending in Elden Ring, and this cutscene is the coolest cutscene in Elden Ring. I'm a frenzied flame fanboy. And then this random woman started harassing me. I finally decided it was time to burn the Erd tree, because it's a big tree and I don't agree with nature. Wait a minute, that's not how physics work. Why is all that shit floating? May heaven have mercy on my soul. I fucking hate the Godskin duo. They are, why two of them? Why at the same time? It's just the worst bullshit known to man. So if you remember at the start of the video, I made a specific rule that I could use sleep pots on these motherfuckers, because I despise these two with a fucking passion. So anyway, I died a bunch. Then I went and got the recipe so I could make my sleepy pots. I also decided to go buy the crafting kit because, you know, you kind of need that, and decided to go on a jar adventure. I just went around the Elden Ring map collecting jars because I needed jars, obviously, because if I'm sleep potting. So I got a fuck ton of jars for the Godskin Duo. And then, after all that preparation, decided it was finally time to try the Godskin Duo again. Where? I died, they killed me. But then after that, quite frankly, in retrospect, the sleep pots probably made this too easy, so I won't use them in any future challenges. I just really could not be bothered with the Godskin Duo, and I'm sure you can all understand if you've played Elden Ring before. I then committed manslaughter and killed Gurrank because I wanted his ancient smithing stone. Ancient dragon smithing stone? Whatever you call him. You know, I've noticed with Elden Ring, a lot of the game is just running through places because there's nothing to really do here. Like, you know, like if I'm doing a challenge run, I'm not going to tell you every fucking stone I stepped on. So anyway, I ran through Bar Missoula, straight to the tree center where my ass got stomped in a bunch of times. I did defeat him, and because, you know, he doesn't have a boss battle, I'm not editing his fight. Tough shit, if he was more important, Firmsoft would have given him a nice little boss battle. It was finally time to fight Malekith, my sworn rival. I did die a couple times, but in the end, I mean, you'll see what happens. Have a look. And with that, we add Malekith to my list of victims. Rest in peace. Love that guy. Yep, the hatred's over. I finally gotten good enough at this boss fight to think it's cool. I love Malekith. Comment, I love Malekith. Then it was time for Sir Gideon Alfnir, the All-Knowing. He killed me once. You know, it's just one of the runs where I died him. What a shame. I then killed him. He's dead. His boss fight's so shit. You're not watching it. No one cares. He's dead. And then it was finally time for a cool boss fight. Mr. Godfrey. And with that, it was finally time to fight Radagon and the Elden Beast. I died a total of 13 times against these two. Well, without any further ado, here's the final boss fight. And with that, we've finally beaten Elden Ring as a Wandering Noble. This build's actually pretty strong. I didn't really struggle much. Here's the time it took me to beat the game. Here's my stats by the end of the game and the equipment I was using. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Comment your favorite vegetable. See you all next time, next episode. Love you all. Goodbye.